Hey young world, it's your favorite host who always puts extra jelly on his toast, Vernon Foster, aka Famous Vernon, and I'm here with another podcast. And I Want to Be Famous is a podcast showing you how to go from ordinary to extraordinary. You don't need a cape, you don't need a date, you just show up and eat the dinner off your plate. Every week I'm here to give you stories of people who are being it and doing it so you can be inspired to do it too. And not only that, I'm going to give you the playbook so you can actually go out and do it. My motto, be known, be seen, be heard, that's the word. And if you have ever wondered how much it costs to travel the world for 1 year, this episode's for you. If you have ever wondered how to score your first freelance videographer gig, this episode is for you. Look, man, if you have ever wanted to be like a famous blogger, vlogger, YouTube celebrity, superstar, rock star, this one is for you, man. And before we get into the episode, of course, some housekeeping. As usual, we're doing a really special giveaway. It's going to be cool, man. I'm excited about this one. We're giving away $1,000 worth of podcast equipment and courses. That's right. The mic that you hear me talking on right now, the setup that you hear me on right now, we're going to be giving it away to one lucky winner who does exactly what I'm about to say. So in order to enter to win, all you have to do is head over to iwannabefamous.co/giveaway, or you can text win gear, that's WINGEAR, to 44222. That's WINGEAR to 44222. This is going to run until June 1st. So make sure you are in the know. Make sure you get your thing submitted sooner than later. Yeah, because you don't want to be late on this, man. And today's story we have today that we're going to be sharing with ya is my man Steve Yalo. He is a videographer who chose to travel the world in pursuit of exploring new places and exciting experiences. He's documented travels across Europe, Colombia, Sri Lanka, the Philippines, and more than 30 countries for more than 52,000 subscribers and has netted millions of views. He's on a mission to share his experiences to break the misconceptions and motivate others to get out and travel the world. Y'all are going to love this one. So how did Steve become famous? Well, he said he had an interest in making videos since he was a child. His father always carried around one of those 900-pound video cameras to family occasions. During his senior year, he actually had a really cool opportunity. Steve participated in an event that he said changed his life forever. It was a travel challenge hosted by Red Bull called Can You Make It?, where they would send teams of college students to travel across Europe for 1 week, check this, with no money. Man, you ain't even got no money. How you gonna travel? I don't know. This is really cool. You'll see how this plays out in the story because this is really good preparation for him being able to do what he does today. He said it was one of the most difficult experiences that he's ever done, but also the most rewarding. Quote, I traveled across 6 countries in 7 days with no money, only using cans of Red Bull as currency, end quote. How cool. I didn't even know you could do that. I wouldn't even think that like people would take Red Bull and be like, yeah, sure, that's fair exchange. You can stay in my house for 1 Red Bull. Pretty cool though. He said after the crazy challenge, he went back to Orlando, and during his senior year of college, he got offered an internship, and then the company eventually offered him a full-time job. He gladly took it because if you know anything about being broke in college and eating ramen noodles, that's not cool, and you can't wait to get out. But a couple months in, he said his excitement eventually wore off, and he was itching to do some more traveling. So what did he do? He said he loved making videos, and after that challenge, he just wanted to travel more. Quote, I decided I was going to take a leap of faith by leaving my job, selling most of my things, and buying a one-way ticket to Thailand to travel full-time and pursue a career in videography. Now, that is really cool. He says, I started sharing my experiences on YouTube And for the past 3 years, I've been traveling full time, making videos and pursuing what makes me excited. Ain't that something? That's a beautiful story, man. So, of course, I asked Steve, how he got his first gig, because I wanted to know, if you're going to be doing this, you need to know how you're going to get your first gig, right? That's important. So he said, his first gig as a freelance creator, he got it before he started traveling. He's always been a fan of EDM and he loved going to music festivals. And there was a big one in Orlando called EDC. I actually been to that one. That's a EDC. Woo. Don't tell nobody. He was strapped for cash since he was saving money for his trip, and so buying a ticket was out of the question. So what did he do? He reached out to one of the organizers of the festival and pitched them as an influencer, even though homie only had 300 followers. Now he had 300 followers and he convinced them that he was an influencer. Now that is cool. That is real cool. Quote, he said, I used my resources to find the right contacts, sent some very passionate emails explaining his desire to travel and build a YouTube channel, and pitched them the idea that their video would live on as the channel grew and it would continue to grow. He was very persistent, obviously, following up, and he eventually got offered a free VIP ticket for creating a YouTube video about the festival. How about that? How about that for a first gig? Steve said, quote, it was a pretty amazing feeling, that gig, and the celebration was pretty lit. So, of course, I'm always curious about startup costs, right? If you're going to do anything, you got to know what you're getting yourself into. You got to know what you can expect from it. And you got to know the real deal. So when I asked Steve how much did it cost to get started, he said, quote, I left the United States with about $13K. My plan was to travel full time for a year with that budget. And in time, my plan was to figure out how to sustain the lifestyle and earn income with my camera. In terms of income, he says it fluctuates. Yeah, sometimes it can be hundreds, sometimes it could be thousands in terms of revenue. He said, personally, quote, I'm interested in gaining experiences rather than short-term financial gains. I think the experience I'm getting is way more valuable in the long run. I would say, yeah, you can't buy back time. You can't buy back time. It's one thing you can't buy back. So, Steve, how did he find his customers moving forward? He says he aims to work with businesses and individuals he's in alignment. Most of his techniques are from direct email outreach, of course, which turns out he learned that while he was working at the marketing company, and that was one of his job duties, was to reach out to people through cold email. So that's how he learned, right? So it actually turned out that it worked out for him. He said he also strives to create good content so people will reach out to him. Now, when I asked Steve what has been the best part so far about the experience, he said he wouldn't consider himself famous, but yes, I would. Go look at his YouTube channel. He said, but for him, the best part has been freedom. Quote, he says, I'm not confined to one office or area. I'm consistently moving and meeting new people and experiencing new cultures. I truly believe that if more people traveled, the world would be a happier place. I think I would echo that too. Y'all need to travel, man. If y'all ain't traveling, y'all need to get out and travel. Obviously not right now because COVID, but after this. And so the struggles, right? We got to talk about the struggles. We can't talk about the wins without talking about the lessons, and it's okay. So, what is it going to take? What are some of the things you're going to encounter? What are some of the things you're going to have to overcome if you're going to live this lifestyle? He said going along with the freedom aspect of this, obviously, is a struggle. Quote, since I don't have a boss overlooking my work or strict deadlines in place, I have to hold myself accountable, which sometimes can be a challenge. Yeah. Thailand, sipping Mai Tais on the beach, or working. No, I would definitely, I'd survive like a week. So what 2 pieces of advice would you give people that are trying to take on a similar path? He said, quote, for anyone interested in doing something similar, my biggest advice is to prepare, to fully commit. If you're not completely dedicated to this, it will crumble. Also, don't be afraid to fail. Fear is what holds most people back. Embrace the fear. It's a temporary feeling of uncertainty. We learn from our mistakes, so if you're afraid to try it, you'll never succeed. Wise words, young man, wise words. So what's next for Mr. Steve Yalo?